Well guys, take a guess. How many planes you think are flying in the sky on an average day? Is it 10,000, 20,000 or 50,000? Well, the number is actually over 100,000. That number has recently fallen by more than half and continue to fall, and the sky is getting emptier. This is unprecedented time in aviation history. With the UAE and India recently joined the flight ban and closed the country, you see a significant reduction in air traffic over the region. With Emirates Airline and Etihad fleet grounded, there are just a handful of other A380 flying at the moment. Airplanes are supposed to fly in the sky, but currently there are more planes on the ground. This is really unprecedented. Here are lots of pictures sent in by our contributors. Let's take a look at these pictures. American Airlines have sent their planes to Tulsa, Oklahoma. You can see planes are parked everywhere on the taxiway, runways. Their 777, 787, and also 737 MAX were in storage there.
Have devastated the airline industry. Here is evidence from Sky 9 today. Dozens of Southwest Airlines planes now sit idle at the Southern California Logistics Airport in Victorville. Delta also has several jets parked there. And today, LAX reported air traffic is down about 85% from this time 1 year ago.
Here are some more footage sent in by our viewers all over the world. First, we have Etihad ground their fleet in their Abu Dhabi base, including all the A380s. Next, we move on to Europe, Asia, and South America. The scenes are the same with a lot of airplanes on the ground. The sky is nearing empty. Since many planes are grounded and airlines have cancelled most of their flights, the airport terminals have become empty. The airports are losing out of revenues from loss of traffic. Business travelers are no longer traveling. The airline lounges have also become empty. The food served in the lounge are now wrapped around to promote hygiene. Of course, with very low demand, most flights are running empty at the moment. These are the recent pictures sent in by travelers. Social distancing is also now happening inside the airplane. A lot of airlines now are allowing passengers to be reseated on board, or at least to be reseated with the gate agent's help to keep a distance from each other. Airlines like Air New Zealand are mandating social distancing on board. The airline is currently amending seat maps and implementing seat restrictions to allow customers to spread out where appropriate. It is not only bad news during a crisis like this, there are also a few rare pieces of good news happening in aviation. A 51-year-old DC-8 have recently flown to Italy to help supporting the fight of COVID-19 over there. The plane is owned by US aid organization Samaritan's Purse. On board the aircraft was an assortment of medical equipment, a few hospitals, and a crew of medical staff. It performed a flight to Verona in Italy, where it unloaded 68 Bedfield Hospital and 20 tons of medical equipment, including a respiratory care unit. While passenger flights and their numbers are falling, the air cargo business are so much in demand right now. They play a crucial role in time of crisis like this. You will see a lot of cargo planes currently carrying a lot of medical supplies to all over the world to keep the world's infrastructure intact. Let's take a look at some of the cargo flight operations right now. The first one is American Airlines. They haven't been operating an all-cargo flight since 1984 when they last retired their 747 freighter. But now they're back in operating cargo flight between US and Europe using the 777-300. We're seeing a lot of airlines not only carrying cargo in the belly space, but they are also packing up all the cargo supplies inside the passenger cabin. Airbus has transported 2 million face masks from China to Europe using their A330-800 aircraft. Within Europe, then they use the A400M to transport these much needed supplies around.
Abriendo, Matari, cojo la navaja y abro.
In January, I have the opportunity to fly on the Antonov 124 operated by Volga-Dnieper Airlines. This is a very special transporter that the design of this is you don't need any ground infrastructure to support this airplane. This airplane carries all the stuff it needs to offload and unload the cargo. In time like this, the Ant-124 and Volga-Dnieper group has been working around the clock to carry life-saving supplies and medical supplies around the world. However, with many countries' borders have now been closed, carrying cargo isn't a very easy task around. IATA and its members renew calls to the government to take urgent measures to ensure the vital air cargo supply lines remain open, efficient, and effective. The IATA Director General said we're still seeing example of cargo flights filled with life-saving medical supplies and equipment grounded due to cumbersome and bureaucratic process. These delays are endangering lives. All governments need to step up to keep the global supply chains open. With so many airlines currently drastically reducing their flight schedule, one airline is doing quite the opposite. They're adding seats, adding 10,000 seats on March 24 to their network. That is Qatar Airways. Qatar Airways have added flight to Paris, Perth, Dublin from Doha. They will be operating the A380 service to Frankfurt, London, and Perth to increase capacity. You'll be wondering why Qatar Airways is doing quite the opposite as other airlines not shutting down their operation at this crisis right now. Qatar Airways is actually one of the last major network carrier that has a global presence. They still fly to 75 destinations around the world. So now they become the last lifeline of carrying lots of stranded citizens going back home. Qatar Airways recently released their statement saying figures for the last 7 days show load factors of over 80% for flights to the UK, France, and Germany, illustrating the demand for homeward travel. Qatar Airways have flown more than 100,000 passengers home in the last 7 days. One sector in the aviation industry is booming at the moment, which is private aviation. They're very busy operating a lot of VIP flights, repatriate flights, and also medical emergency flights around the world. With a lot of airlines now reduced and cut out the schedule, maybe the only viable option is chartering a private jet to reach your final destination. And that's why in private aviation are so in demand at the moment. A lot of people prefer to use private jets to be distanced away from other passengers, to fly private. But more so, we are seeing private jets play a crucial role carrying a lot of cargo and much needed supply, and also taking very sick citizens going back home. VistaJet, the private jet operator, has came out offering free government one-way empty leg on their flights if government need to use their plane to carry medical supplies. Thomas Floor, VistaJet's founder and chairman, said, "We know we don't normally offer repatriation flights or transportation of medical equipment, but ultimately we are a logistics company and we are here to help the global community as much as we can. We are in this fight together." Well, I hope you have enjoyed today's news video together with me, and I hope you are currently staying safe at your home. This is probably the only time I'm asking you not to travel, because we are all in this fight together. I am so proud of all of us, how far we have came, and I have so much faith, believe how far we can achieve together. Thank you so much for watching.